$1 million business in a year? Really? What's up, everyone? Howard Kingston here, entrepreneur, marketer, and co-founder of Growth Velocity Academy. In this video, I'm talking about creating a multi-million-dollar business. Sometimes within a year, within even shorter. Is that possible? That's what we're going to dive into today. So I was on a call with a buddy of mine recently, a successful entrepreneur already. He's already got a really successful e-commerce business, selling stuff. And he wanted to talk to me about setting up a software business, like launching a successful business in like the tech space. And he was like, I want to make this ambitious. I want to make this like a multi-million-dollar business really, really fast. And what are some of the key steps I need to do to make that happen ASAP? Now, he's an ambitious guy, so I totally believe he can do it. And this is totally possible. I've seen it many times myself. And of course, I've done it a few times myself with Adludio, advertising business. We've grown to multi-million dollars, and we probably grew that to being $1 million value in maybe 6 months. And I've launched that company, I Am Player, when we launched it, and we got it to 20 million users, and that was worth millions. So I've just had first-hand experience of seeing this many times, and I know it's possible. So in this episode, I want to break that down. If you're ambitious, you're this ambitious business owner, entrepreneur, and you want to launch not just like a business, you want to launch a multi-million-dollar business. Like, I know what it's like, guys. Launching isn't good enough. You want this to be big. What are three key things you should focus on? So when I was talking to my buddy, I kind of broke those down, and I thought it'd be useful to share here because I know there'll be a lot of people listening, watching this kind of stuff, and looking for these kind of tips. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the 3 tips to becoming and launching a multi-million-dollar tech business. Okay, tip number 1. So tip number 1 is to focus on the fit. Focus on the fit. The first company I launched it, spent 9 months building, and built a website, got all this stuff ready, launched it, and tumbleweeds. No, I got it really excited for launch day, planned everything out, and no one bought the product. All right, it was a holiday business, and I was still in university, and that sucks. And when I reflect, there's a few things I did wrong in that experience, which I learned from. But the single most important lesson I got from that, which I'm so grateful for that lesson, because it really changed how I approach anything in marketing and business thereafter. And that lesson was, the thing I did wrong was I had this great idea in my mind that I thought was a great idea, but when I launched it, there was no actual customer base who were asking for it. All right. There's a big difference. And this is the thing you only experience when you're in the trenches and you're doing it. There's a difference between you having an idea for something and you loving the idea and thinking the world should need it, and there being actual customers asking for it. Okay. Because really good businesses solve a need in the market. Really good businesses are not always just good ideas. And there is a key difference there. So really focusing on the problem it's going to solve for your customer is so huge. And I'm saying this in this episode because I really think you can't grow a multi-million-dollar business fast without it solving a huge need for a customer. Okay. And I see that's probably the single biggest mistake I see people make. So let me give you an example here. So if someone said to me, let's say you had a burger van, all right, and you wanted to launch a burger van. I know that's not a tech business, and we're talking tech businesses, but let's just say you want to launch a burger van. How could you guarantee you're going to be sold out on day one? How could you guarantee it? What would you do? So just have a think about that. Now, For me, like there's lots of different things. I hear many different answers to that question. Oh, hand out flyers, do buy one get one free on the burgers, and there's loads of tactics you can do, which sure may can work a bit, but really, guys, listen to this. The way that you can be sold out in that burger van, and even if you had unlimited burgers, you could almost make like, six figures in just burger sales in one day if you can park that burger van where there's a starving crowd. All right, let's just imagine there's a soccer match, 40,000 people coming out, and you're the only burger van. All right, at the end of this like music festival or a soccer match or something like that, and you're the only burger van in town, you're going to have a queue of people wanting to buy your thing, and you're almost guaranteed you're going to have a really successful experience there. Now, what's the lesson in that I want you to take away? You got to focus on that starving crowd that have a need for a product or solution. Really focus on that. Now, people call this different things. Product market fit is the most common use of the common kind of term for that. Okay, it's called product market fit. And that's what you really want to focus in on. All right, if you want to kind of dive into that a little bit more, I've got a couple of other episodes where I talk about this. But one reading resource I'd recommend to you, check out The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. I've read that book. I must have read that 5-6 times. Well, a true story, when he came to London one time, when he was launching that book, maybe about 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was the guy. He did 3 different speaking gigs in London in 3 nights, and I was there on every single night. Like that, I was that guy, right? But I do believe it's that important. So do check that out. So tip number 1 is really focus on the fit. All right. Tip number 2 is speed is king. So a mentor and investor of mine, super awesome dude called Russell Buckley from a VC at Kindred Capital. I remember he was one of our first investors in Adludio, my ad business. And I remember one time, really early in my journey, being in kind of the hipster part of London, having a hipster coffee, in this place called Shoreditch Grind. Any London people will know that place. And I remember kind of catching up and chatting to him about our plans for the business. We'd just been accepted into a startup accelerator. We'd gotten our first bit of investment. I think we'd gotten maybe £100,000 investment, something like that. That was like really, like, even before the accelerator. And I remember him asking me, what are your plans like for funding? What's the plans for funding for this company, right? And I was, at the time, I was like, I was pretty naive at the time. And I remember saying to him, we have £100,000 from the accelerator. So, that could, and there's only 2 of us in the company, myself and my co-founder, that could probably do us a year. And I remember him just kind of smiling, laughing and going, listen, just a big lesson here in the world of tech startups. It's not necessarily who goes to market first. And we had a product that was really unique and nothing like it, and we're really excited about that. And he's like, sure, you're first in the market, but in this game, it's not always just about who goes to market first, but more so who gets biggest, fastest. And I remember just like, I can still remember that moment when he told me that, and just like something went off in my brain. I was just like, wow, I can't believe, that is just such an interesting reframe. I always thought about it was first to entry, and then I could just take our time on the launch. But no, it's all about scaling fast. And that's the second key principle here, that speed is king. If you're getting into the world of tech, of startups, you may want investment, you may not want investment. Either way, speed is going to be king, and being able to take advantage, assuming you have the first bit, which is the opportunity in the market. When you do go to market and stuff starts working well, the world is competitive, guys, and people are going to come in and start competing with you, replicating what you got, and you got to be able to scale it fast. When you have something interesting, you need to be able to scale that thing up fast, right? And how do you, so I suppose the question, like how you do that is, there's one key way of doing that in my experience is getting in, if you're doing this for the first time, right? and you're trying to figure stuff out, there's no better way to fast track and shortcut your learning and your results than getting some advisors or some mentors or some coaches around you that have done exactly what you're trying to do, right? And just think about that. You can either do it the long way and the hard way and try and figure out all the stuff yourself. And don't get me wrong, you're smart. I know you're smart, and I know you can figure out. This is not a question, can you figure it out or not? I trust you can. You're on this. You're ambitious. I believe you can figure it out. But it's all about the time it's going to take you to figure it out yourself. And when time is one of the key elements to success and being able to do things quickly before you run out of cash and before other people in the market take it over, then all of a sudden, you spending all this time trying to figure it out yourself, all of a sudden the return on investment is not there on that. Rather than getting some advisors around you or mentors or coaches or whatever you need to do so you can just fast track, maybe in 30, 60, 90 days, figure out how to, do that marketing campaign properly, or do that sales sequence properly, or whatever it is you need to do that you haven't done yet, then that becomes really smart ROI. So principle number 2 is speed is king. Speed is king. Hit it. And then finally, tip number 3 is build a growth engine. So build a growth engine. So this is really where you've got the first thing, you've got some product market fit going on. And once you see that you have product market fit, then you need to build a scalable marketing and sales engine that can repeatedly bring in customers profitably and is hugely and scalable and repeatable. All right. So just think about that. That's like where the science part of the marketing and sales function really comes in. And that's something I call a growth engine, because it's just, think about it. It's like an engine that keeps on going around. Right. And it needs to be something where you can bring customers. It's a channel, a marketing channel that you have found is works for your company. Now, there are 19 traction channels that you can choose from, like anything from viral marketing to social ads to SEO. So different business types and different business industries react best to one of those 19 traction channels. So you need to figure out which one of the traction channels is best for your company. It won't be all of them. Trust me, there's no way you can launch a business and do all 19 traction channels well. You can't. So you need to focus in what is the one traction channel which is right for your company. That's something which is called market channel fit. And then you want to master that, and you want to create a repeatable engine around that. So you're able to do some marketing, bring some people in on that channel, convert them through sales, and do that on repeat. And ideally, you want whatever you're investing in the marketing channel, call it, let's just say it's cost you $10, $50, $100 to acquire a customer on the front end through using something like, let's say you're using Facebook ads, for example. You want to make sure that payback period of getting that revenue back from that paying customer is as short as possible. And obviously you want to get your return on ad spend up as high as you can. Because if you think about that, imagine you're spending $100 to acquire a customer, and then within 60, 90 days, you're earning at least that amount back. And then over a period of time, that doubles, and you get double or triple, 3 times return on ad spend, predictably, right? Imagine that. Then what you can start doing on your ad spend is spending more and more and more, and then the flywheel starts going faster. Is this making sense? So those 3 things together, you, 1, focus on the fit. You have a really strong product market fit. 2, you focus on speed, and you really hit it from a speed perspective, and you focus on speed, not focus on perfection or trying to figure out everything yourself. And then the 3rd is you find a traction channel and you grow a repeatable growth engine. That, for me, are the 3 key things you need to grow $1 million business. And I'm so excited about hearing how you get on when you do that. So guys, hopefully this has been useful. Now, 3 ways I can help you if you want to get started with something and you want to kind of take that next step. One is I've got a free community of marketers and entrepreneurs just like you, completely free. It lives on Facebook and it's called the Growth Marketers Community. So it's completely free to join. That one's in the notes below. The second way I can help you is I'm doing a live free training in a few days where it'll be me live. I'll be able to answer any questions that you have. And it's really focused on how to help you explode your marketing and sales. So again, the note for that is below, completely free, and I'll be joining live. Can't wait to see you on it. And then third, if you know that actually, you know what, I need some help right now, do book in a call, complimentary coaching call with one of my team, one of my marketing experts who will be able to figure out what you need help with right now. I will help you put together a game plan for you. Again, all of these things are completely free of charge. I want to serve as many people as I can out there. Okay, so guys, peace out. And if there's anybody that you know that needs to hear this message, please do share this message with them, because the more people that hear this message, the more people listen to it, the more people we can help. All right, peace out, and I'll see you in the next episode.